Here on The Colour of Country Life, we're speaking with Steve Bignell, the Market Information Manager from MLA. Thanks for joining us on the program.
Thanks for having us.
Now, we've kept tracking this ECI indicator and it just keeps going up and up. Where is it sitting at the moment?
So it's at an all-time record at 1,031 cents per kilo carcass weight. It's jumped pretty significantly up from 1,004 cents early this week.
And the graph just keeps going up and up. Each time we think, well, that might be the ceiling, it just keeps defying expectations.
Yeah, it does this year. And what we're seeing is it's being really driven by rain and restocker demand out of Queensland. We had rain last week. There's a forecast for a bit of rain this week. And what we've seen is the buyers moving back to being restockers more than feeders. So that's been the big driver behind it is when we're getting rain, producers looking to restock after obviously the drought is pushing that price up. We also have had less head through the indicator.
And yeah, so there's a constrained supply, I guess. So that means the prices are good for what people can get their hands on.
Yep.
And when it comes to, I guess, the localised movements, when we were in the Riverina, for instance, where we broadcast, is there a positive movement there in the pricing compared to other parts of, say, New South Wales?
It's overall, we're seeing a lot of sale yards now average the price for young cattle, which includes yearling steers, yearling heifers, fearless heifers and fearless steers, over 1,000 cents per kilo carcass weight wagga. The average across those four categories is 1,054, so a bit above the national average, which is the ECI. Wodonga, it's 967, so a little bit below. It's a bit mixed. We know that there's a lot of capacity for rebuilding. We know that we're in a herd rebuild because we're seeing reduced slaughter. We know that people destocked quite significantly through the last drought. So there is constrained supply while people hold on to the cattle that they have for the rebuild, but we also know that there is demand from restockers, and that's what keeps pushing this up.
Just looking across at where the sheep price movements are, that seems to have been defying some expectations as well. Usually it starts pulling back, but is it sitting higher than it would normally at this time of the year?
Well, this week was a really unique situation. Last time this happened was March last year, where we had lamb and cattle prices both hitting the record in the same week. On Monday, the National Trade Land Indicator got to 951 cents per kilo, and that was an all-time record. And
again, on the localised front, is there particular hotspots where that price seems to be running stronger than other locations? I'm trying to rack my memory exactly where those locations might have been in the past.
Wagga makes up 14% of the National Trade Lamb Indicator, and Wagga prices are sitting at 986 cents per kilo carcass weight, which is obviously above where the trade lamb is. Trade lamb has come back a bit this week. It has dipped back 2%, and as of today is sitting at 931.
When we look at the rebuild that you've mentioned on both beef and on the sheep front, where are we at? Does MLA know just how close we are to say where the levels were pre-drought, or are we still got a long way to go to get to a rebuild to where we were sitting before the drought really hit us hard?
We're expected to get to 68 million sheep this year, and the sheep flock is rebuilding quicker than the cattle. Just purely, it's a shorter life cycle from impregnation through to having a lamb that you can sell. So, and also on that, Southern Australia sort of had the drought-breaking rain last year for the cattle herd, with 50% located in the Northern Territory in Queensland. We sort of are a little bit delayed because it requires that northern wet, which we had over summer. So for the sheep rebuild, we are ahead of where we are in the cattle. We're in sort of the second year of a sheep rebuild.
Yeah, but we're still behind maybe where the herd levels were 3 or 4 years ago?
Yeah, we will get back. We're going to get back up to there by the end of 2022. We'll be in a really good space around where we were between 2015 and 2019.
All right, thanks for that really detailed breakdown. That's fantastic, and appreciate all that you guys do to keep us informed of what's happening in the sale yards as well.
Anytime, Ricky.